Today I'm sitting outside of the Goodwill in Stone Mountain, Georgia on Highway 78. I'm headed inside to see if they have any vintage or antique treasures for my antique booth. Alright, let's get started in the least crowded aisle. It's better to be late than to arrive ugly. $3.09. Am I the only one who thinks that that's kind of mean? Like, it kind of implies that you need to have makeup and hair done not in order to not be ugly. I think that's just a little bit mean. All right, so I'm looking for Tupperware generally on the plastics aisle. Here's a Jello mold. These sell really well for me in the light green. This one is $1.09 and it has no lid, so you can't turn it over and make your Jello set. So that is basically worthless without a lid. And then also on this aisle, I've spotted this. I thought this might be Tupperware. This is $3.09 for this large piece, but it is Rubbermaid, so I'm gonna leave this. I'm also looking for things that may have been misplaced in the plastics aisle and aren't actually plastic. So I always check for that. See if we see anything else before we make it to a different aisle. Nope, that's plastic. I thought it might be glass, so I picked it up. As well as these are also plastic. So we will keep going. Here is an old student desk. $20 for this. All right, I am on the baking aisle. Oh, hello, vintage baking dish. Oh, I love the knob, the handle. It is unmarked, and unfortunately, it's $11.24. So we are going to be leaving you right here, sir. All right, moving on. Here is a really pretty vintage juice pitcher. It's $7.09, which is pretty high for these, but I'm still going to think about it and look it up. I haven't ever seen this one before. And then here's some pretty green glass dishes. Two in this nice Kelly green color. I'm going to think about these as well. I'm probably just going to put some stuff in the cart that looks interesting and look it up when I get a chance. This lighter green one, we might have to take a black light to that. It might be uranium glass. Something I can do. I'm probably going to get that. I can do that when I get home. It's a pretty vintage dish. I like this. I'm still trying to be careful about how much clear glass I'm buying because I need to make sure it's actually going to sell before I start throwing a bunch of it in my cart. Here's a butter dish, $3.09. It's not a super exciting pattern. And then here is an Anchor Hocking butter dish, but it is missing its lid. I would get this if it had its lid. $1.39 for just half of the total piece. Some milk glass luncheon trays. Those don't sell very well. They just have a tendency to sit in the booth. Here are some Corel bowls that match the Pyrex pattern, Old Town Blue, but at $2.09, there's just really no room. Those are just priced too high. They only sell for about $5, so not a lot of room there once I pay the sales tax on those. Now these are pretty. $2.09. People are buying these plates to make plate walls. They're buying, just assorted fancy plates. So I'm going to get these. I'll check them for chips and cracks later. They look like they're in good shape. All right, we're off to a good start. Is this Japanese stoneware? Actually, I'm not sure it is now. I'm not sure what that mark is. I like these. Let's see. I might put these in the cart and just think about these as well after I've looked them up. Okay, I'm just going to place these in the cart and think about them as well. Is this Fiesta? Oh, it is. Look at the stamp. It is the white color, and this is the set with the cream and sugar with the tray. I love this set. Unfortunately, the sugar bowl does not have its lid. So they're selling all 3 pieces individually. I think that that's just a sticker. $2.09 for each piece. I'm not sure about this. I'm sure that there are people selling these online where the sugar bowl does not have its lid, but I'm not sure if this is wise for me to get all of this, given that it doesn't have its lid, and the lid is really cute when it does have it. I really like this set though. I think I'm going to put this in the cart and again, just look this up and see what I can find online. Oh, look at this. No price. This is beautiful. Is it just me, or is it creepier that they are laying here on their backs, almost like they have been laid here to rest on the Goodwill shelves? Goodness, at least sit them up or something. Oh, hello, ma'am. All right, some cute Easter decor down here. Easter is fast approaching. Pretty soon it's going to be time to pack all that stuff up and put it back if it doesn't sell, I guess. I did sell all of my paper mache Easter eggs, the German ones, so I'm really excited about that sale. All of them sold to the same person, and so I got $49 out of that sale. That was really exciting for me. Cute little apple basket. All right, on the bottom shelf, I have spotted some blueberry coffee cups. Oh, and they're LL Bean. Okay, I am interested in these. $2.09 a piece. I'm going to look these up, put them in the cart. Look at this rolling pin. It is heavy, so this must be marble. And it's $5.24. I'm definitely getting this. I put the Fiesta back because the sugar mold didn't have a lid, and I decided to place these back on the shelf as well for somebody else. Here's a fancy crystal ashtray, $3.09. I have a tendency to kind of overbuy in the ashtray department, so I think I'm gonna leave that one for somebody else. It's a pretty little teapot. Let's see what it says. Oh, $5.09. Can't make out the maker on that. What else? Here's more of a groovy shaped ashtray. I guess it's a studio pottery piece. Leave that one as well. Here is a plastic rolling pin. Definitely not a nice heavy one like the one I found earlier, but it's priced accordingly at $1.69. Teapot with cute flowers, no lid, and a huge chunk in the rim. Some of these prices are just insane. Seriously. Oh, wait. Pink depression glass, I believe. Look at this, $5.09. Now that is a much nicer piece than the broken teapot with no lid. Let's put this in the cart. I like this doll. $5.09. I like her face. Oh, she's not actually a whole doll. So it's more about the dress. This dress alone is worth $5.09. It's hand crocheted. I'm going to leave her behind for somebody else. Look at these curlers. Another thing I'm into is old price tags. But there's no curlers in the box. So now I have to find the curlers because the box for $2.09 is a little bit pricey. All right, it's a treasure hunt for the curlers. Oh, here's some vintage wallpaper. I like these 80s wallpapers. $3.09. This one has been opened. and it looks like just a little bit of it was used, probably before someone decided that wallpapering is just really hard work and gave up. And then here's one that has not been opened and not used, $3.09. I like this stuff, but I'm going to leave it for someone who has more of a market for this. It's really cool. Okay, here's some curlers, but they're not the right curlers. The ones that go in the box are clearly for getting a 1980s perm. And those sponge ones, they're just not the right ones. I do like this section though. You can find some cool stuff if you're willing to dig through. I often find vintage photo albums in here or vintage photography equipment. Here is a vintage dishes store, or I guess it's for cups. I really like this actually. I'm going to put it in the cart and make sure the zippers work on it and think about it. I kind of like this decanter. It's got a nice stopper on it. I'm not sure if it's vintage. $7.09. It's kind of high on the price. I'm not sure about this. Again, it's got a nice cork stopper. Because it's in such good condition, I'm thinking maybe it's not vintage. I'm going to put this in the cart and think about it. All right. I've already thought about it and I'm putting it back on the shelf. I don't like that seam down the side, so I'm just going to put it back. All right, I think it's time for me to head to the register. I've done really well today and I'm very excited about this. I think I spent an hour and a half in there. It may have been 2 hours almost, but I'm really glad I went, and I think it pays to wait a while in between trips because there was just so much good stuff in there. So when I get home, I'm just gonna kind of spread it all out on the dining room table and give you a better look at what I got. All right, let's get into this haul. All right, first off was the, oh my gosh, it's so heavy I couldn't even lift it with one hand barely. The green marble rolling pin, which was $5.24. I think this was well worth it. It's a really nice one, and I'm going to price it at between $28 and $30 on this. It's just really pretty. Okay, the dishes storage, all of the zippers worked. You can buy these new. I'm pretty sure this is a vintage one. It's in really nice condition, and I paid $4.09 for it. Kind of high. These prices were a little bit outrageous, but I don't know. Yeah, just that's what's happening with Goodwills everywhere, apparently. I'm going to put 18 on this. Look at how my cute little LL Bean mugs are nestled in there right now. All right, well, let's talk about these. The LL Bean blueberry mugs. They are made in China. I hope that isn't a turn off to the customers, but they were $2.09 a piece, and these should sell for $10 a piece. I just think they are lovely, and wouldn't they be pretty, well, really in any home, but since our antique store is in the North Georgia mountains, wouldn't they just be lovely in a cabin? I had to look up how to pronounce this because my tendency was to say Gottinger, and that's just not right. So I asked Professor Google, and he said it is Godinger and Company. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what that's what I learned. All right, $2.09. I think these will sell pretty quickly for all of these people coming in and making their plate walls. I'm going to put $12 a piece on these. I did look closely at these. I felt all around the rims for chips. They are in really nice shape, and there's no wear on the metal around the edges. So these were a really nice find. I put 14 on those. I'm not sure. I just kind of did my research really fast for this portion of the video. Let's see. The vintage juice pitcher. Now, I have sold these many times, and usually when I see them, they have oranges on them or lemons or something, or limes. I have never seen this white one, the white flowers, And I put that decanter back in the video because of a seam. This one's got a seam too. This one is a little bit of a mystery to me. I could not find an exact match online at all. Like, there were 0 matches for this. It was a little bit steep at $7.09. I'm going to try $24 on it. I will style it with some flowers in it. With being a juice pitcher, it really should have had a plastic white lid on the top. It doesn't, however, these still sell without the lids. All right, a new owl mug by Threshold. That's a Target brand. This little guy was $2.09, and I will put either $9 or $10 on him. People just love owls, and for some reason they really love coffee cups that are shaped like owls. All right, these are Noritake. I've probably been overbuying a little bit on the goblets lately. I just like them a lot, and I love this color. This is called Sweet Swirl, this pattern, and it is definitely sweet, this light blue color. They were $3.09, and they should sell for between $12 to $14 a piece. These are Anchor Hocking. Got 2 of these in this color, and apparently this pattern is called either Bubble or Oyster and Pearl. These were $2.09 a piece, and they should sell for between $16 and $18. And then this one, now that I've got it home and it's not under the big fluorescent Goodwill lights, I don't think this is uranium glass, but I don't have a black light, so I will make sure it's not when I get to the antique store, because we have one there at the register. In fact, I'll probably order just a little black light flashlight to keep in my purse when I go out shopping for that purpose. So as best I can tell, this is Federal glass. Oh, what was the pattern called? Rhythm is what it was called. So this was $2.09, and I'm not sure what to put on this. 12 to 14 is my best guess. Of course, I need to see if it glows. I don't think it's going to. And then, okay, the star of the show. This is from Jeanette Glass Company in a lovely pink color. The pattern is called Honeycomb. You can feel the pattern on the inside, and the outside is smooth. Now, this, I've been seeing this described as an ice bucket, but if it were an ice bucket, why would it have a spout? Please let me know in the comments what you think this is. Oh, what is this? Nothing substantial. It looks like a scratch. Oh dear. Oh no, it's got a bunch of little like hairline fractures all the way around. Darn it. $5.09 on this. And I'm just now seeing what I think might be some hairline fracturing. Although I'm not sure. I can kind of feel that one a little bit. Another online seller described this as a reamer bottom. Now, a reamer would mean it needs another piece. It would need another glass piece with the actual juicer or the reamer on it. So anyway, I am just really open to comments and ideas on this. It was produced apparently between 1928 and 1932, so it's nearly an antique. I was thinking I'd put $36 on it, but now that I see that it's got these little tiny hairline fractures in it, it's just the one. This one almost just looks like a scratch. I'm just not sure what to do. Anyway, that's where I am with this. And then, I was watching Crazy Lamp Lady, Jocelyn. She's been going to antique stores lately and not just thrift stores. Anyway, she went to this antique store, and there was a booth that looked a lot like mine because it just had a ton of stuff in it. And they had built more square footage out of their display units by using plate stacking measures. So I got this for $5.09, and if they'd had more than one, I would have gotten more than one of those too. I really like that, and I think it's going to work great for me in the booth, just kind of trying to figure out ways to make more use of the space that I have on the shelves by creating height. And then the Lincoln logs, I was happy to find them. Thankfully, the whole thing wasn't taped shut, so I was able to see inside that it looks like a complete set for $7.09. I'm going to count everything and see if we have all the pieces. The Lincoln logs that I bought the other day were all cellophane and taped shut, and they are not a complete set. So what I might do is just kind of put these in here and just give whoever buys this extra Lincoln logs, because this is not a complete set, and in fact it doesn't even match like the things it's supposed to have. There's definitely a lot of them in there, but it's not this set. This name right here makes me think that this wasn't a teacher classroom, and what happens when you are a teacher and you have games is that everything gets all mixed up. So your pieces go missing, or you know, if there was 2 Lincoln logs, when you tell the kids to clean up, they're not going to like put them all in the right boxes again. So I think that's what happened here. Anyway, so I think I'm going to try to build one of these. So stay tuned if you're interested in watching me play with my new Lincoln logs before I put them in the booth. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pretty great haul. Please let me know what you think about some of the things that I wasn't sure on, if you have any information that I just didn't have. And as always, I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.